Before the absence, before the silence, there was a shift. Not loud, not obvious, just subtle. Like the quiet before a storm, like breath held too long. Lia felt it. She always had a sense for endings, even before they arrived. But she ignored it. She told herself it was just fear, old scars whispering lies. She had spent years training herself not to flinch at love, not to expect abandonment just because the past had taught her to. But some lessons repeat themselves. And this one came back with a vengeance. That morning felt like any other. A Tuesday. The sky was pale, almost colorless. Her apartment smelled like cinnamon and paint thinner. She was wearing her favorite oversized sweater, the gray one with sleeves too long and a thread coming loose at the cuff. She had plans to meet him. The usual spot. The window seat at the campus library, the one Eli always claimed because it caught the morning light just right. She got there early. Ordered his coffee. Black, no sugar. Waited. 10 minutes. Then 20. Then 60. She checked her phone. No message. She texted him once. Then again. Then a third time. Still nothing. By mid-afternoon, her worry was quiet but growing. By evening, it was a storm. She went to the cafe. To the rooftop. To his apartment. Nothing. His roommate answered the door. Confused. Half asleep. Said Eli had left early that morning. With bags. Didn't say where. Didn't leave a note. Didn't say goodbye. And just like that, he was gone. 7 years later, Lia sat on her couch with a letter in her lap. Letter number 3. Written on the third day of silence. The ink had smudged in places. One corner stained with what looked like a teardrop. The words were raw. Exposed. Unedited. Dear Eli. I waited. 4 hours. I saved you a seat in the library, by the window you liked. I ordered your coffee. I watched the door. But you didn't come. I went to the cafe. The rooftop. Your apartment. Your studio. Everywhere. No one had answers. Just silence. Just gone. She remembered that version of herself. The one who paced circles in her apartment, too afraid to cry, too afraid not to. The one who slept in his hoodie, not because it comforted her, but because it was the last thing that still smelled like him. This wasn't just heartbreak. This was confusion. This was betrayal without confrontation. This was an ending without explanation. And worse, without permission. She had written another letter the night after. The 4th day of silence. She opened it now, as if rereading it might change what it meant. You always said you hated goodbyes. Said they were too dramatic. Said people only say goodbye when they want to be remembered as victims. Was that it, Eli? Did you want to be the one who left before things got real? Lia had never screamed, never slammed doors, never begged. But she had mourned. Quietly. Like a funeral no one showed up for. She stopped sketching after that week. The lines didn't flow. The hands that once painted silence now shook too much to hold a brush steady. She stopped listening to their playlist. Stopped going near the part of town where they met. Even stopped drinking black coffee. Everything was a trigger. Everything reminded her of him. but he had become a ghost no one else could see. There was no closure, no explanation, just air. And 7 years later, she still hadn't heard his voice. Even now, with him back in town, she had received nothing. Not a message. Not a call. Not even a whisper of her name. Lia stood from the couch, walked to the corner of the room where her easel stood, abandoned. She hadn't painted since the box resurfaced. She placed a hand on the blank canvas, fingers brushing the surface like it might respond to her touch. She whispered, "You took the words from my mouth, Eli. So I put them on paper. Every one. And someday, maybe I'll give them back." She turned back toward the box of letters that carried more weight than a suitcase ever could. Each page a timestamp of her pain. Each envelope a piece of the goodbye he never gave. She wasn't sure if she was ready to forgive, or if she ever would be. But she knew one thing now. If he wanted to return, if he wanted back into her world, he would have to walk through every single word he left behind. Every page. Every ache. Every unsent goodbye. Because the silence he gave her, it became her voice. And she wasn't afraid to use it anymore.